Okay, so good day everyone. Today I just want to show you how you are going to install and manage virtual machine uh, in our computer system. So when you talk of virtual machine, this software is being used in order for us to use two or more operating system in just one machine. So ibig sabihin, we will be using virtual. Okay, so for just one machine we can use two or more operating systems so that we could uh, manage the different applications installed on the different operating system or platform. So say for example, you have your PC then installed with Windows 10, but there is an application that you want to use where it could only be compatible to Windows 7. So what you're going to do is you are going to use a virtual machine, wherein in that virtual machine you will be installing or setting up another operating system, and then give or share different resources like the RAM, the storage, okay, and all other resources in that machine, in the virtual machine. So today, uh, we will be installing an application. This is this one, the VMWare Workstation Pro. Okay, so we will be using this as the package for us to be able to set up a virtual machine in our computer system. So first thing to do is for us to be able to install this. Okay, so clicking on setup, then just run it for you to be able to run the setup or to execute the setup. Okay, so next. So here is the setting up process of the VMware Workstation. So this is version 16, I think. Okay, 16.0. So we will try to wait for the installation process to start. Okay, just click next. Okay, accept the EULA or the user license agreement. Next. Okay, so enhance na lang natin to. So next. Then next. Okay, so we'll be creating an icon on desktop and putting, of course, the start menu, the icon of the VMware at the start menu folder. Just click next, then install. So after this, after the installation, I'll show you how you are going to create for a virtual machine. Okay, so in our subject, networking, we need this because, most especially in this time of pandemic, because we cannot have a face-to-face laboratory. For this virtual machine, you can have two computers, okay, having the one machine, virtual machine, is installed with a server operating system, then the other one is being installed with Windows 7 or Windows 10 Pro. Okay, it should be Pro because we all know that Windows 10 other version like the home or other edition, it cannot connect to a server. So if you are using Windows 10, it should be a Pro edition. Discussion, we will be using a server 2008 standard, and then we have the Windows 7. So these are the two operating systems that will be installed in our two virtual machines later. Okay, so if you notice, it's already finished. Okay, the installation is already finished. Okay, so we'll try to okay, so sinabi dito, you should start. So we will be restarting the machine. So we have already installed, after starting, we have already installed the VMWare Workstation Pro. So this is now the icon. We are going to open it in order for us to set up a virtual machine already. Okay, so this is the, if you notice, by the way, if you notice, this is just a beta version, but we can activate this by using the serial key purchase. Okay, so we have here a serial key, this one, no? I already installed the serial key, so this is already activated to use the full features of this VMware workstation. So first thing to do, if you want to create for a machine, a virtual machine on your own computer system, what you need to do is to click on this, create a new virtual machine. But of course, before clicking on this, make sure that you already prepared for the package, the ISO package of the operating system that you want to install. Okay, so create a new virtual machine. Create a new virtual machine, then after that you're going to select, it's either typical or custom, so it's being recommended to be typical. Just click next, and then you are going to select on this option, installer this image file. So there should have a prepared ISO image of your installer disk of your operating system. So you're going to browse. So that is on the desktop. Therefore, we'll try to install first the client PC, that is Windows 7. Okay, so just select on that package, let's open, and then click next. Okay, so of course we'll just leave this, we'll just activate later. No, we'll just activate later. So this is Windows 7 Ultimate. Okay, and then next. So are we going to set a password for the administrator? Okay, by the way, this is just an optional for our client, but later if you're going to install for our server PC, it is a must that we are going to set up our password. So next. Okay, yes. So we'll just name this machine as client PC. Okay, so next. Split, we will just use this so that we can transfer anytime our virtual machine to other computer. Okay, so 60 for the maximum. Okay na to, because we are only recommended for 7. Okay, 7 GB for the installation of the operating system, which is Windows 7. Okay, so next. Okay, so here we can customize anyway. We can customize our resources, no? So hard disk is 60, and then memory is 1 GB. But if you wish to change this, no? If you wish to change this with a higher capacity of the RAM or memory, for as long as your operating system or your computer has a higher RAM, in my case, I am using a computer or desktop with an 8 GB, no, 8 GB RAM. So I can use 2 GB for this and 2 GB for other. So I still have 4 remaining GB for my computer system para hindi man siya laggy, para hindi siya naglalag. Okay, so 1 GB I think is enough for this client. Then later we can uh, put more RAM capacity for our server. Okay, so network adapter. Okay, so we will be using network address translation. Okay, so we'll not be using cable here because we are just using naman a virtual machine. So ito yung gagamitin nating adapter, no? But of course we will just imagine that we are using a cable, a working cable connected to the LAN port. Okay, so just click finish. So after creating the disk, if you notice, it will proceed to the installation process, like what the reformatting process of Windows 7. Okay, like our previous video tutorial, you can experience here how you are going to set up a computer system with a Windows 7 operating system. Okay, but of course it's just a virtual machine, not an actual machine. Okay, virtual machine lang po tayo mag-install ng Windows 7 operating system. Okay, so we'll just wait. Okay, so ito na po siya, mag-install na siya. VMware. Okay, so if you notice, here is the installation process of Windows 7, no? Okay, loading files na siya. Okay, so I think you already experienced how you're going to do this. Okay, but if not, for as long as you have your own PC with a large amount of memory and hard disk, basta mataas yung specs ng computer natin, we can try this. Okay, I can share you the VMware Pro, and then you can practice setting up a Windows 7 and other operating system in your own unit without damaging, of course, your actual memory installed in your unit. Okay, because this is just a virtual machine, you can remove anytime, you can change anytime you want. Okay, because as I've said, we are just setting it up as a virtual machine. Okay, so it can run on the background of your actual operating system. Okay, so that's it. I will just wait. Medyo matagal to. Okay, so setting up is already finished. So starting Windows na po tayo, no? So ibig sabihin, we are done with the reformatting or the initial setup of Windows 7. Okay, so setup is updating registry settings. Then later, after this, we can have already the installation of our server. Okay, so we will be using server 2008 standard now, because that's the version being used by Tesla, I think, for the NC2 CSS. Okay, ito yun kasi yung ginagamit nila, but I don't know if they already upgraded. Okay, if you wish to have higher version, you can just download the beta version. I think Microsoft Corporation giving us a trial version of their Windows Server, no, for 180 days, I think, or you can just check on the website of Microsoft Corporation. Okay, so nandun we can have, or we can use freely the Windows operating system for a certain duration of days, no? Okay, so there you have it, no? You have already the the operating system or one machine with setup with Windows 7. Okay, so public na lang natin yung ano niya, yung network niya. Okay, ibig sabihin may connection to because nakadepende kasi to sa connection ng actual machine mo. Ayan, so Windows 7 po yan. Okay, yan, so okay, then so if you try to look at this, ayan na siya, client.pc, no? So if you want to turn it off, okay, kung gusto mo i-shutdown ito, pwede lang naman, right click mo lang, then power, then you're going to shut down this guest, or power off. You can power off this, okay, or you can suspend this while doing other setting up of virtual machine para hindi masyadong malaki yung kakailangan natin na resources. So we're going to suspend muna, i-pause lang natin, okay, this one, then we will try to set up also a Windows server. Okay, so yan, then we can just try to resume later kapag okay na yung another virtual machine. Okay, so click on the home tab for you to be able to create again another machine. This time we will be having a Windows server, because one topic or one discussion in our networking syllabus is for us to be able to set up a network by having a client server architecture. Okay, client server, of course we have also peer-to-peer or work group architecture. Okay, so unahin na natin tong client server. So we are going to install a virtual machine with a server 2008 standard edition. So click again on this button, then next, then browse for the ISO of the server. So that's on the desktop. I've already prepared this. Okay, desktop na siya. Then after that, you will be selecting this 2008 R2, okay, Windows Server Standard Edition. Then just click open. Then next. Okay, so you, just ignore this. Just ignore this kasi ito yung nade-detect nung VMware natin na package, but this is actually a Windows Server package. So just leave it as that. Okay, so full name, we're going to change this to server.pc. Ito yung pangalan ng ano natin. Then it is a requirement that we are going to put a password, an admin password. So I'm going to enter password at 12345. Okay, yan na lang para hindi natin makalimutan. Password at 12345. Okay, so log on automatically. It should be it requires a password. Okay, big letter P, because in setting up an admin password of your server, it's a requirement that you need to have at least one capital letter. So I capitalize P on the password, and then at least one special character, and of course a number. Okay, so password at then 12345. Just click next. Yes. Okay, so we are going to name the virtual machine is server.pc also. Okay lang na magkapareho sila dun sa pangalan nung machine. Oh, sorry. Documents already exist. So let's try to rename it. Okay, server.pc1. Ayan. So if you notice, 60 din siya. Okay lang kasi for tutorial purposes lang naman ito. Sapat na ito, no? Then split din siya. Next. Okay, dito kailangan na nating, ayan. So okay naman na pala. Okay, alam niya na server ito, so there is a need na mas mataas yung resources niya. So kailangan natin na lakihan. But if you want to make it bigger, kasi mas mataas naman, naka 16 GB yung computer mo, why not? Para mas mabilis yung processing natin later. So pwede po nating taasan yan. Okay? Pwede po nating taasan. So recommended, if you notice, recommended for server maximum, okay, is 8 GB, pwede lang. Pero kapag 8 GB to, wala na, hindi na gagana yung computer natin kasi ginagamit na ni virtual machine yung buo mong memory. Okay, so dapat maglaan tayo. Okay, so okay na to. Ano pa ba yung kailangan natin dito? Network adapter, okay naman na to. Use to share, tama yan. Okay, ito yung kailangan natin pala, LAN segment. We need to create a LAN segment for our okay, so yes, sandali lang. Bandwidth, kbps, MAC address. Kailangan natin na ito yung itong segment na to yung magiging bridge nung dalawa, diba? LAN segment NAT. Okay, try natin muna yung NAT. Let's see later if they can connect. But if not, we'll be changing to a LAN segment later. Okay, so i-test natin later, no? Close natin to, then after that finish. So I'll show you. Okay, kanina dun sa Windows 7 I cut, no? I pause the recording because I know that you already experienced how you're going to set up a Windows 7. Okay, so dito it is my first time to show a tutorial setting up a Windows server, because setting up a Windows server is different from setting up of client operating system like Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 8. Okay, so there is real difference, or there is a big difference of the configuration if you are using Windows server operating system. So samahan nyo ako hanggang sa matapos yung pag-setup natin ng Windows server, because it is a must that you know how to configure the needed features, the needed services in order for us to be able to run or to use the features of the Windows server. Okay, because Windows server is different from the kasi Windows server, sinabi natin Windows server, yan yung pagbibigay ng mga resources, yan yung pag-provide ng mga resources na kailangan ng client. Okay, so in our window, meron na tayong dalawang machine dito running. Okay, so we have the client PC installed with Windows 7, then we have the server, that's PC1, installed with a Windows server. So setting or setup is starting. Okay, so antayin natin yan. Para nagre-reformat din tayo ng other Windows operating system. Okay, pareho lang yan. Ayan. So piliin natin yung Windows Server R2 standard. Ito na lang siya. Okay, so next natin. Ayan, medyo laggy siya, no? Okay, so if you notice, parang yung kanina lang, no? Windows 7. But later, kapag i-set up natin yung mga different features of the Windows Server, doon dapat natin tutukan. Okay, so since pareho lang naman ito doon sa kuwan kanina, okay, please bear with me if I'm going to pause muna yung recording natin. Okay, so we are about to finish the installation of Windows Server. Ayan na siya, no? So after the installation of our Windows Server, the next thing to do here is to set up the different features. We will try to add or install the needed features of a Windows Server to have uh, a client server set up, no. At least we try to install the DHCP, the DNS, the document and print services. Okay, those are the basic. Yung remote desktop natin, those are just the basic feature of Windows Server that we could try to use in our virtual machine later. Okay, so please take note that this is just a virtual machine. Okay, I am using a desktop with 8 GB RAM and 1 terabyte. Okay, with a 2 GB dedicated graphics. Okay, so you can try to set up your virtual machine also in your computer system, in your laptop, for as long as make sure that the resources installed in your laptop or PC is a little bit higher. Okay, kasi kapag 4 GB lang, medyo laggy na siya. Kasi kapag ilalaan natin yung 1 GB sa client, then 2 GB sa wala na, isang 1 GB na lang yung matitira para sa actual device natin. So make sure that it should be at least 8 GB. Then if you can have a 16 GB, well and good, mas maganda pa, no? Because setting up a virtual machine, of course, there must have a powerful actual machine para tayo ay makapag-set up ng virtual machines. Okay? Okay, so here it is. Begin install tayo. Okay, preparing your desktop. If you try to look back earlier, we set up a password, no, an admin password. Okay, so try natin siya i-shut down. i-restart na natin kung kailangan niya ng ng password. So security issues, okay lang natin. Let's see if the password being set earlier, okay, has been saved. So dapat dito pag mag-login tayo, we need to enter the password. We can run this already, so that client PC Windows 7 siya, no? We try to run simultaneously the two virtual machines setup. Yan. So yan yung client natin, ito yung server natin. Okay? Wow, hindi siya na-save. So we need to configure okay, so that ends muna my tutorial. I will just create again another video for setting up the different roles, the different features of a Windows server. Then later, how are we going to set up a network for the two PC, wherein the client PC will request resources, okay, or a file from the server. How do the server provide those resources needed by the client PC? Yun po yung discussion natin next time, okay, including of course the setting of the different features of our server, okay, like we have here the different features, no? Okay, so ano ba yung mga kailangan nating idagdag na features dito, ano ba yung mga kailangan nating install na features, okay, for our server, in order for the server to provide the needed resources by a client. Okay, so yun yung mga yan. Or how are we going to add the different roles? Okay, ano ba yung mga roles dapat natin na kailangan? Okay, or features. So add features lang tayo. Then after that, ayan, okay, group policy management, ano ba yung mga kailangan natin? Okay, SMTP server, ayan. Sa roles naman, let's see, okay, add roles tayo. Ito naman sa kwan, okay, doon sa ADDS natin, okay, Active Domain Directory Services, okay. So goodbye for now, no? Just wait for our next tutorial for this. So at least in this tutorial, you already learn how to set up a virtual machine using VMWare Workstation Pro, and then how are you going to create a new virtual machine. Okay, so we have the client PC and we have the server PC. So that's all. Thank you and stay safe in this time of pandemic. Bye bye for now. God bless.